Hello, welcome back to City Planner Plays, where we are building the city of Verde Beach live. So I have really changed up my setup. So as a result of that, I'm kind of struggling tonight. So I'll explain some of the things that I've done. So I'm recording this on my gaming PC, and I'm actually streaming through my Mac right now. So as a result, it's been a learning process for me. I also switched microphones for the first time since I started Verde Beach. I switched over from my Blue Yeti to a Shure MV7 microphone, which is both XLR and USB. So very excited to make that change, but lots for me to learn. So I'm sorry that it took me so long to get started. So first of all, thank you so much, Massa, for becoming an associate planner. How is everyone doing tonight? Yeah, I see that there's lots of discussion about the Queen. Definitely a loss for the world, and especially the UK. A very nice person, and obviously embodies the UK to many people. So yes, I see Joy's on here, and she's using a Mac too. So I have my Mac laptop. So you'll have to tell me. Music too loud, just right, and microphone volume, just right. Arthi, thank you so much for becoming for being a member for 5 months. It's 10 p.m. in Brazil. That's a good time for you then. It's 8 p.m. for me. So I see requests for a memorial for the Queen. Maybe we can do something. We'll have to see. We have we're basically tonight going to spend some time over in Scarsdale, decorating and correcting a couple of things that I think I did incorrectly. So number one thing, I got rid of along Mason Street. There was a bike path, and microphone seems a bit too high. Let me see if I can fix that. Is this better? Maybe it's just a little too hot there. We'll see. Hopefully that's better. So just a quick check. Where is everyone from right now? I see Malaysia, Northwest Indiana, New Zealand. Yes, sure, Mike for the win. I love it. The music missed. There's music I missed, I think. Mike is a tad too high. I'm seeing if I'm peaking. It looks like I'm in the orange and not in the red right now. So hopefully that's okay. And part of this is going to be me. I got to learn where to sit. So you guys are the guinea pigs. Wisconsin. I love it. UK. Cincinnati, Pennsylvania, south of you, Missouri. I love it. Regina, Washington, D.C., Boston, Vancouver, Brisbane, Arkansas, South Australia, Michigan, St. Louis, upstate New York, Utah, Madison. I love it. Oregon, Brazil, New York City, Des Moines, UK, San Francisco. Thank you all so much for being here. Really appreciate it. I know that this is not a convenient time for everybody. That's one of the reasons that I wanted to record this, so that I can actually get this and turn it into a stream replay. Try to make it something that is beneficial for people like all you folks in the UK, where I think it's pretty late right now. What time is it in the UK right now? I'm guessing it's after midnight? St. Louis, Minnesota, Santa Monica, Flagstaff, holy cow. Milwaukee, love it. Vancouver Island, that's a place I want to visit. Montreal. Honestly, the music is still a little louder. Yeah, and so all of this is going to be a little bit of testing on my end to try to find exactly what's right. So the other thing that I'm bummed about is, because of this setup, I usually display the song names on the stream, and I can't do that right now. So I'm going to try to figure that out in time, and we're definitely going to, but boy. The mic is really low for you now. I don't know if I'm going to make this right for everybody. Hopefully I can make it okay for most people. So one of the problems I'm having is, so the Wave XLR uses its own proprietary software, Wavelink. And when I use that, I'm getting some feedback. It's like a clicking sound. Let's see, over in the UK, it's 2 a.m. Holy cow. Yeah, so thank you so much for being here. That's really late. And Thank you so much. Uh, the 5 is silent for the super chat. I appreciate that. And Angel, thank you for becoming an associate planner. So first question, what do I think about the upcoming DLC? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk. I'll answer questions as I'm done answering them. I'll look over in the chat and I'll just take another one. So I think that the new DLC looks really, really good. I'm really excited about it. My main thing, if there's anything I would comment, it is that I just want to make sure that I am utilizing it properly. I saw images where there were homes on pedestrian streets. For me, that might work in certain locations. I don't know if that's something I want everywhere. What I'm really excited about, though, if I'm being completely honest with you, is the content creator packs. I think that they are really going to, especially in a place like Verde Beach, where we've had this area that it's a tourism district, I guess, but it's just not very lively. I feel like we're going to be able to combine the new DLC with the content creator packs and really create some special places. And if you guys will recall, this area right here has been reserved for a tourism destination. So this is what I want. I want this. I'm not even going to touch this in Monday's episode because I'm going to save this until it's released, because that's what we're going to do here. I've got some big ideas for the DLC. Ooh, good question. So what am I drinking tonight? Santiago asks. I'm drinking a Crew Drive again, Central Waters. So I had some Line and Google's, some of their Oktoberfest, but it was so good it's gone now. So this is what I have. So yes, the beverage of the night is Central Waters Crew Drive. It is a Pilsner. What are you guys having, if you're having anything? Let's see. It looks like mixed opinions on the DLC. I'm gonna have to ask a poll question. Are you guys excited about it? Which one are you looking forward to the most? Let's do that. Why don't we ask are you excited about the DLC? Because I'm curious. You know, I think that I look at this and I think I've wanted pedestrian-oriented stuff for so long that I'm pumped about it, but I don't know how you guys feel about it. So let me know. Do you like the idea of this new DLC, or are you just kind of lukewarm about it? Very, very curious. And trying to adjust the music on my end. The music is so loud that I can't even think. And I'm looking to see what you guys are saying. Overwhelmingly yes. I don't even need to let this go any further. So end the poll, 88%. Holy cow. So yeah, I think the DLC is very exciting. The bigger question in my mind is, are you more excited about the mid-century modern content creator pack or the resorts content creator pack? Because that to me is interesting. Which CCP do you want more? Let's see. I'm going to ask that in a poll as well. Mid-century modern or resorts? All right. So here's another one. All right. Summary of the new DLCs. So I'm curious. So I've thought about resuscitating Tutoria and actually having another episode or two of Tutoria once the DLC comes out. So I think that might be something. Oh, look at that. Chris, thank you so much for gifting 20 memberships. That is very nice of you. And Brutus, thank you for becoming an associate planner. You too, Adam. I appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. Angel as well. Thank you so much. So right now it's looking like it's a close vote. I'm not gonna break it. I'm not gonna tell you what's leading because it's very close. So what I'm gonna do is we got rid of the bike facilities here. I don't think that was the right choice. So what we're gonna do, the very first thing I want to do is actually we're going to grade this out and add some bike facilities to the side of here. Now, I'd love to go on the inside. I think that's the Well, no, actually, maybe the outside's the right choice, because then we can give more separation between the bike facilities and uh, this road right there. And maybe what we'll do is something that's maybe not necessarily the height of realism. Maybe it is. We will circle back up around and get to the neighborhood and make a connection up here so that we don't have to cross the highway in any way. So right now, 283 votes, and one of the content creator packs is ahead by 1%. So I'm very, very curious. Bring back Tutoria. Yes. I'll have to do that. 2 episodes at least. Because I truthfully, I'm not done with it. I'm supposed to have just a couple, basically a review of the content creator packs. So I'm kind of glad I didn't do that now, because I released the DLC video not all that long ago, only to have a new DLC get released. So seems a little bit silly. So I want to thank you all for the really positive response to the most recent video I put out. I spent more time on that video than I think basically any other video on the channel. And it really, I had a lot of fun with it, but it took a long time. So because of that, the number of videos I've been putting out has been fewer, but the response to that video was really good. And I really had a lot of fun doing it. I don't know. I mean, that's obviously something that I can't do all the time, but when I have the opportunity to, definitely going to. Wow. We are up to 350 votes, 1%. One of them has the edge by 1%. I think I'm going to end this and let you guys see. So check that out. 51 to 80 to 48. That is really, really close. So I think the mid-century modern, if you use it right, I think it's going to be really, really special. So we'll have to see. And I see the moderators are putting in some work, so thank you so much for taking care of that spammer. So Banana Man, I really appreciate you. Hopefully things are going well for you, Banana. I have not been in Discord as much either because of that video, and afterwards just kind of exhausted. So now I'm feeling good again. Andrew, thank you so much for becoming an associate planner. There will be some stuff coming up soon. So it's Thursday. What's going on? We are going to be putting in a bike path right here, and then we're going to switch over to daytime, and we're going to detail in this area. So not something that we really did. We just kind of came through here and built out the neighborhood, which is fine, but you can see that it's just kind of ugly. I think that we could come through here and clean some things up, like the kids who go out the slide and then fly down to the road. Not ideal at all. So we're gonna get that fixed. Hopefully I'm not peaking too much. That's one of the things that the Wave XLR app was supposed to do, was prevent me from peaking. Hopefully that's not a thing. Zach, thank you so much for the super chat. I hope all is well. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Everything is really good for me. Life is good. I can't complain. I think when I think about my life, I can't help but smile. Things are just really good. I've got good kids. They're both going to elementary school now, so that's been my new thing for the week, is getting my kids in elementary school together, and kind of dealing with the quiet. Because now we had a couple weeks there where we had daycare, and it was they ended a week before I thought they were going to. So I was working with my kids right next to me, and there were a lot of people in that same boat where their daycares ended earlier than they expected, and thankfully my employer was very good about allowing me to work from home. So that's something that I think I take for granted less and less, because I know that many people are going back to the office these days. So this is kind of a mess right here. I don't know how I can get this working, but I've got an idea. I'm going to treat it just like a road and elevate this up, and hopefully I can just upgrade this and then downgrade this, and then get rid of some of this. And I wonder if I drop this down just a bit, get some of that ugly grass out. Oh, that's looking so much better. A key wall might look good here too. I've been reluctant to use them, but I think I need to stop that. I think that Verde Beach has so much money at this point, and they care about being a high quality tourism destination that, especially for featured infrastructure projects, that would be totally fine. So let's see. The five is silent. Are you ever coming back to Denver? What would you change about the city, and why is it Colfax? So am I coming back to Denver? I need to. I've got friends. I so I struggled leaving Denver. I really loved it there. If the world in a different world, I probably would have never left. But you know, I have a wife, and she wanted to leave, and we have family here, so that was the reason we came back. That said, I also love Madison. I love Wisconsin. So if I go back to Denver, it's to visit, and I will likely do that. For a while, I didn't go back because it was you know, I think it was one of those situations where I saw a lot of potential in my career in Denver, and it just didn't work out because you know my wife and I had very different situations there. Um, so it was tough for me. Now I feel a little bit better about it. I've got friends I want to see, so yeah, I'm going to go back. I lived a block off Colfax, and it is Colfax. I believe it's the name of someone. I cannot recall, if I'm being completely honest with you. But there is someone who it's named after. Not curious. I probably shouldn't look this up, but I'm going to. Colfax. Oh. It was someone important to basically everyone out in the West, because I think California has some Colfaxes. I mean, there's Colfax in California. I think there's a city, some street names. Yeah, I'm going to look that up. I am curious about that as well, too. Lunatron says I sound a bit more gravelly with this mic. That's probably my settings, and that could be me too. I've had a little bit of a cold. Did I watch 2LR20's video challenge today? Minimal mods, try to get to 50,000 population, 10 hours of gameplay on the lowest speed. I have not, but that's a really cool challenge. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna have to check that out. So was he able to do it? That's maybe I shouldn't ruin his video for anyone who doesn't see it. I'm like, yeah, could you guys just ruin the whole the punchline for me? So don't answer that question. Alexander Zero, love your videos. No pressure. Do you currently have any plans for a new city after Verde Beach is finished? You know, I might. I guess the real question is, does it have to be after Verde Beach is finished, or can I do it beforehand? So Thursdays have been freeing to me, but also challenging in that when I had Tutoria going, I knew exactly what I was going to do. And because I'm not a full-time content creator and I'm doing this, you know, when I can, it's nice to have everything kind of planned out. And so it's been freeing in that I'm able to kind of do whatever I want on Thursdays, but at the same time, sometimes it just, you know, you run out of ideas that are completely fresh. So I have been thinking about starting up another series. So we'll have to see. I guess I'm not sure how you all would feel about that, but you know, I don't want to give too much away, but we'll see what happens very, very soon. Let's see. $2.20's fashion. In $2.20 fashion, the city was beautiful. Of course, he's so talented, so talented. Colfax is an old train stop in the Sierra Nevada. Grady says, I have friends that live up there. It's also it's a big weed growing region. I want a snow city. I don't want a snow city right now. Maybe in the summer. So the other thing, or in the fall, I mean, in the winter, not fall. The other thing I've been thinking is, Verde Beach is a very slow burning series, but I could do something that is a little bit quicker. And, you know, think about Verde Beach is there's really no size limit to this city. I'm just kind of doing what I'm doing, and it's going to go on until it's done. And that's something that I'm very open to changing for a future build. So that could be something where the city is going to become I don't know, 20,000, and we're going to have a really detailed city of 20,000. Could be something really, really, really small. Boat is stuck. There are a variety of boats that are stuck. Apparently this is just like a spot where boats get stuck. So let's see. Let's look at our terrain. So contours. So we're just going to need to change that route because I think they're getting a little bit too close. And they're like lemmings. They're following each other. So let's take a look at that. That's a good catch. I can't recall who saw that, but I appreciate you finding that. So let's go ahead. Yeah, and look at that. It goes right into there. So I will stop this. And let's get this thing fixed. So the nice thing about a stream is because I try to work a story in to the build, it can be difficult at times to do some of these sorts of things in the build. Build an overcrowded dystopia. I thought about doing a, one tile, super detailed, high density, Hong Kong type build. Thought that'd be kind of fun. Maybe take a city slow, only in Slovakia. Silly both. Hopefully that fixes it. All right. Now I'm not 100%. So this is actually a lot of grade to get through. So I'd love to do some sort of a ramp where I'm spinning around, but I think I have to come out and then come back this way. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I think it's going to be a challenge. Before I get to that, though, I missed a couple of super chats. Chris, thank you so much for gifting 28 City Planner Plays memberships. Cameron Lawrence, thank you so much for so the boat is stuck on shore. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. The water was surging. Maybe that's why it was. Yeah. All right. So we're going to pop this over. I'm going to try my best. So I'm going to extend this one notch past that road. And I'm not sure how ridiculous this is going to look. We're just going to try some things out. And we have the opportunity to do that. So truthfully, I should start the descent already right here. So we'll pull this over here. We'll go one beyond it, and then we'll start going down. And then I'm going to grab the curved path tool and start bringing this thing down. I'm going to pause this for just a minute because it's going to be a bit of a struggle with the water physics. And that is not going to work. So this is going to be an interesting project. So I'm going to go freeform for a second. And maybe the right approach is actually going up the other way. So I need to come out. I'll turn everything back on. I'm going to go out 3. 1, 2, 3. We'll go over. No, that's going to be huge. So I'm thinking, now the more I think about this, I think what I was doing before, kind of curving around, was the right way to go. Omni Gaming, hey CPP, you said you had family in Indiana. You ever get back there? Not that often. So it's my stepbrother. He lives in, he was in Indianapolis. I want to say he's like in Columbia or Columbus. Just moved there. So yeah, I haven't been to Indiana since I was 13. I one time stayed with his dad, which was kind of interesting. Other than that, yeah, he would come to Wisconsin, and I'd see him up north. So let's bring this down. I'm just not sure how much I like that. I think I don't. Maybe I'll leave it to you guys, though. That just looks really unreasonable to me, and it's kind of ugly. I kind of hate it. I kind of hate it a lot. I think I might step away from this for a moment. I can't. Actually, I can't. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to keep going with this thing because it's going to drive me crazy. Let's see. Look at chat while I'm doing this. Arthi, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. And GJ203, are you still committing to use every asset in this build? I am. So there are some that I have been reluctant to use that I'm going to start using soon that I'm really nervous about. In particular, canals. That has to happen soon. I've been saving them, and we're going to see how that goes. So I really don't like this. I think we're going to let it go for a little while and not let perfect be the enemy of good. And I'll try to make the connection here. And we have a bike facility. Look at how far away that is. That stinks. And there's no direct route. And this is the kind of thing you deal with all the time when you're bicycle planning and you're trying to shoehorn a bicycle facility into an existing network. So ideally, what I think we're going to do, we've got this little path connection here. We're going to come around here and run this here, and then I'll convert this. The height of realism is me adding a node right here, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a node, convert this, delete this, make this, rezone that, and then we're going to convert this to a bike path. So that will give us a nice little loop here. So not ideal what I just did, but it's going to do the trick for us. And honestly, that's kind of what I'm looking for. But I want to also make a connection back the other way if I can. And then we've got to figure out what we're doing here. So it's not ideal to have this stop here, but I think we might do it. So I would love to, in reality, have probably a separated bike path right here on the left-hand side, bi-directional, and then have a bike button right here, an actuated button to get across. That would be how I'd likely handle that. But that is not what we're doing. We can't do any of that stuff. So we are going to accept a little bit of imperfection here. So I'm going to connect that up right there. It's Taylor. Thank you so much. That is very generous of you. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, CPP, how are you? I love watching your videos, and they're a great way to wind down from the day. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you all being here with me. It really does mean a lot to me. I can't overstate that enough. Lewis Johnston, thank you so much for being here. Oh, CityZilla's in here. I have not seen. I've seen a lot of familiar faces. I saw Joy. I saw JLA. But CityZilla too. Cool. Campita, thank you so much for the super chat. Any school you recommend studying for urban city planning or design? Also, you may have to make a new DLC tier list. I might have to. So I don't know what you are more interested in terms of planning. I mean, it's a very varied field, for lack of a better term. So if you are going for transportation, it might sound counterproductive, but UCLA is probably the best place for you. North Carolina is also very good. Harvard for design is really, really good. I went to Denver because of design. Madison is excellent for law and theory, and excellent planners come out of there. And one of the planning schools I know that is really well regarded is Iowa. It's one of those that whenever you meet someone that is coming out of Iowa, oh, this stinks. We're gonna do it anyway. Whenever you meet someone that came from Iowa, they're just really well versed in planning. So honestly, there's a lot of good schools. If you look at planetizen.com, they have a school ranking list. I will tell you to kind of take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. Denver wasn't on there when I went to school because they didn't submit their paperwork. And that was partially because of the remodel of the school and restructuring of some of the programs. So you have to do something to get on that list. And if being number one matters to you, like it does for, let's say a Penn State, they are going to make sure that they submit that paperwork. So really I would recommend you call up the program, talk to some of the advisors and ask them what the program's like. Do they have a lot of adjuncts? Is it mainly professors? When you have a planning law class, is it being taught by a professor or a practicing lawyer? So these are all the questions that I asked, and they meant a lot to me because I wanted to be able to sit down with a real planner and pick their brain about their job. And that for me was absolutely invaluable. And truthfully, my very first job I landed because I had a studio that was judged by a bunch of actual practicing planners. So they came in and they judged it for realism. You know, is this a reasonable plan? And it's funny. It was developing a downtown for Westminster, Colorado. So they had an old mall site that they were taking down, and we were going to create this downtown plan for it to revitalize the mall site into a downtown. And we came up with what we thought was an excellent plan. They told us that, like, the planners were like, "God, great job. Here's the thing. You went into SketchUp and all of your buildings are like 20 stories tall. And this is a suburban area where the mall was like the tallest building at like 3 stories. So that's probably not going to work." But the rest of it was good. Good mix of uses, good ideas, great reuse of the program, or of the mall site where you could. So anyway, long story short, call the program. Make sure that you're getting the type of planning that you want. And if you already have some relevant studies, make sure that they'll allow you to accept those credits. Let's see. That Diego guy, thank you so much for the super chat. Do you see walkable cities making a comeback in the United States? Love your content, by the way. Thank you so much. Yes, I think that, in planning, that's what many of the planners have been preaching that for years. I think that the problem is the U.S. is a very diverse country. And, okay. So it's not a monolith. There are places that are incredibly walkable, and there are places that are not very walkable. And I think that those communities that aren't walkable are catering to a certain subset of the population that's what they want. So I think that the trick is making those places more walkable. You're not going to make every place Manhattan, but I think that for the places that are more exurban or suburban, you can still have a nice walkable suburb. Now with people working from home, I think it's even more important to start thinking about that, getting people to be a little more comfortable to walk in their neighborhoods, especially if they are going to be working from home more. Because that's the interesting thing is we're actually seeing vehicular miles traveled, or VMT, starting to climb back up to where it was in 2019 levels. Yet you don't see nearly as many people working in the offices. So what that tells me is that there are trips that were previously linked. So what I mean by a linked trip is you go to work, then after that, you decide you need to get groceries, and you need to pick up your dry cleaning, and you need to get your dog at the doggy daycare. And all of those trips were happening in rapid succession. And now, when people are working from home, they will, wake up, they'll go drop their dog off at doggy daycare, they'll drive home. Then they'll decide at lunch they want to go get groceries, so they'll drive to the store, and they'll go get groceries. And then later on, they'll go and maybe they'll walk to the dry cleaner. But the result of that is what we're seeing is the vehicular miles traveled, and the total miles on the roadway network is coming back to where it used to be, which I think really shocks a lot of people when they hear that. But that's where we're at least in my area, and I think nationally, I've seen some studies that have said that that's the trend as well. I would suspect that in places that drive as much as the U.S. does, they're seeing similar trends where people, when they have that flexibility to do things, they are taking it and running with it. And I will readily admit to being a midday grocery shopper now. So I live right next to a grocery store, and if I can go midday on my lunch break, I'm going to do it every single time. So let's see. I missed some more super chats. Planner duck. Oh my goodness. All right, wait. I did it again. Heading up to the coast to a surprise location. My wife is surprising me for birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Planner duck. Which is also the same birthday for the state of California. That is neat. Thank you so much for all you do and for the content you create. Thank you so much for all you do. Planner duck is just a really, really, really big asset to the community. Someone that I know that I can count on their feedback. Same with Planner Pete. Both really appreciate all the support that they've given, and particularly Planner Duck. Really appreciate it. And I'm sorry that I've once again streamed when you're not available. That's just what I do, apparently. Let's see. Dwayne, thank you so much for becoming an associate planner. Thank you so much. Let's see. I see talk about planners and elected officials. LA is definitely not walkable. I take issue with that. So TJ says LA is not walkable. I'd say that there are big portions of LA that are not walkable, but there are certainly portions of LA that are. When I lived in LA, I walked all over the place. I walked to a place called Benito's on Santa Monica Boulevard. Not by any means a fun pedestrian environment. But I went to Santa Monica all the time and I walked around. It wasn't too far from me. When I lived in the Valley in Encino and Sherman Oaks area, I walked all over the place there. The problem is that it's not. There are certain kinds of jobs that are available in certain kinds of places, and around those places there are simply no affordable places to live. So I think I've mentioned this in the past. I was an assistant at a talent agency, which is kind of maybe the weirdest job that anyone could have. But it was in Beverly Hills, right off Beverly Boulevard. And so that whole job came to be because I was working at the Apple Store in Glendale. I was there when the iPhone launched. So you can tell I'm old. And I met a lady from Wapaka. And she told me that the hiring manager was from the Wisconsin Dells, and they would gladly take another Wisconsinite in the office, and they would give me benefits, and the Apple Store wouldn't. So, as much as I like getting Apple stock, which I foolishly sold and bought Rock Band, at this point I think it's the $10,000 Rock Band set. I still have it. I'll never get rid of it because of that. But I ended up working there, and obviously in Beverly Hills, I'm not finding an apartment. Like, it was just out of my price range. So I drove to work until gas hit $5 a gallon, and I got into a car accident. And I said, all right, I'm done. And I made it into work. I took the bus, which took forever. And it was a mixture of busing and biking from Encino to Beverly Hills. It was the most miserable experience I think I've ever had. And I said, I'm done. And I quit. My boss was very cool about it. I still talk to him to this day from time to time. When the YouTube channel took off, I asked him, like, oh, what do I do? Like, I don't like, you're getting sponsorships and stuff. And he was very nice about, helping me with some of that. Anyway, portions of LA are walkable, but not all of it. Long story short, Omni Gaming. Any thoughts or suggestions for a regular citizen of a small town without a planner to help improve the community and push for better planning? Yes, run for office. Number one thing. So obviously you can be the squeaky wheel. As much as I hate to admit this, the squeaky wheel, I mean, they get things done. They really do. So if you are the squeaky wheel that is constantly asking for something, they're going to get tired of hearing from you, and they're going to eventually give you what you're looking for. And I see that all the time. Especially with elected officials, if you find one that you can click with and connect with and get to know them and then keep mentioning, like, this is something I care about. This is something that means a lot. It'll help you get reelected. That those things, they work. They just remember that elected officials are people too. And especially at the local level, they live in your community. They want to improve it too. Dwayne, thank you so much for becoming an associate planner. And let's see, I think I might be, holy cow. Please more videos about Verde Beach rather than Clearwater. So the reason I've had two series going on, and maybe I don't know if I've really explained this, is I sometimes run out of inspiration in one of the cities, and having the other one helps me get going. So Clearwater County videos are significantly more challenging for me than Verde Beach. I've had a vision for Verde Beach basically forever, and I'm just implementing that vision. I have a loose vision for Clearwater County, but it's really about where the story goes, and how I get there has been changing as I deal with mod conflicts, basically, because I struggle with that. I struggle with that some. So it's just a different thing. So Verde Beach, if I go too quickly, I'll be done. So there is that. And I see that Scream Pillow says absolutely not. Clearwater County is my comfort content. So I see comments about, let's see, I'm 13 in your videos. Maybe want to become a city planner when I grow up. Thank you. Thank you, French Country Ball. You know, here's what I would highly recommend you do. Some summer, ask the city planner in your town if you can just sit down in his office or her office and hang out for a while. I guarantee you they're going to be cool with it. And see if it's something you want. I wish I would have done that when I was a little bit younger, because I think it would have been really interesting. And I know that at least in the communities that I've worked, they actually have some internships for younger kids in high school, and will pay them to get them interested in city government and public service generally. So I would highly recommend, if you have any sort of interest. Oh, look at it. I'm doing it again. I'm gonna have to come back and fix that fishing boat. I want to add a key wall here. Vainglorious Gaming, thank you for becoming an associate planner. GJ203, thank you so much for the super chat. 33 Miles Anthony, hey CPP, loving the stream. In your opinion, what is better? What is a better form of transit, bus rapid transit or light rail transit? And could Verde Beach ever see BRT? So the reason Verde Beach doesn't already have BRT is the limitations that I have with our with the types of roads that we have. Now I don't know exactly what roads we're going to have in the new DLC, but if we have the ability to have a bus only road, then absolutely we're going to add BRT. That said, I look at BRT and light rail as kind of being cut from the same cloth. The thing is, light rail is almost always light rail. You build it to a certain standard, you're going to get a high quality light rail system. Bus rapid transit's different. The problem is that in some cities, they think that branded busing is bus rapid transit, and they never separate the buses from the general purpose traffic. Now, if that is the approach, that is not high quality transit, and light rail will always be better. So it just really, if light rail is going to live up and be, oh boy, I'm doing some things here. We're gonna have to go back in this. If it's gonna be even, you know, in the same ballpark as light rail, it has to be built like it's high quality, high capacity transit. It can't be marginalized, which is what I think you see happening. You see people, elected officials, thinking it's the cheap way out, and it can be, but it's also not good then. So that's my thought there, I guess. So I see this popping up, and from time to time I have this problem. Look at that. That looks absolutely terrible. So here's where I lean on you guys, because sometimes you say that you fixed this in the past, Phil. What are you doing? What am I doing wrong, chat? I'm obviously doing something very, very, very wrong. Nikki, thank you so much for the super chat. Poll for which series is better, Clearwater County or Verde Beach? I don't know if I want to know the answer. Houston is building new BRT lines in the style of light rail. So Banana Man mentions that is the kind of BRT you need. You need it to be completely separated. So Los Angeles has the Orange Line. That's another high quality BRT system. We have gates that separate the BRT line from general purpose traffic. It has priority always, goes right through. That is what you want to see. Let's see. I think the ramp is too high. Huh. Are you talking about this ramp, Banana Man? It doesn't end at ground level. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. I'm going to just stop it then, and we'll see if that does the trick. Still popping up. Now it's an invalid shape. So let's give this another shot. Just pull this in. So this is one of those things that in vanilla, do not like it. Just do not like it at all. So what I might do is the height of realism will be, we'll just get rid of some of the highway, raise that up. And that'll probably do the trick too. So as I totally destroy the city for the sake of this, it'll be okay. We're gonna get through this. We'll get through this. And let's see. We'll add this right back through. Hopefully, we don't have any problems. Oh my goodness. It's ramping up with that bike ramp. So I'm gonna dig this out further. So let's just pull that through and oh, I think I'm messing everything up. So I'm gonna get rid of a whole bunch of houses. I'm sorry, city. We are gonna just destroy everything to make sure that this road gets through, which I guess happens more often than it should. Now I think we're going to be okay. There we go. And we can get this moving again. And hopefully now we're good. So it was, for whatever reason, yeah, I wanted to be at this level. Well, we'll take it. We'll take it. That Diego guy, can you tell us what really cheesy joke only city planners will get? I don't know that I have any city planning jokes. I have to think about that one. I'll think about that. If I think of one, I'll let you know. Archie's, hey CPP, what are your future video plans? Any new city ideas? Yes. So I will say that the image I released not too long ago was not a coincidence. It was not just I'm not just working on a new map because I want to learn the skill. I mean that's part of it, but I would love to build on a map that I've created. So Eggsy's done a great job with the Clearwater County map. I love it, but I would love to work on a map that I put together and see how you guys all respond to that. So that's likely what I'm doing for the next one. Now this is just all. I'm gonna step away. If I come back here, it looks fine. I'm cringing all over. JLA says I am cringing too. This makes me want to cry. There are certain times when I'm in Verde Beach working on things and I'm just like, oh, all I have to do is go into move it. All I have to do is push M one time, hit this pillar right here, raise it up one, node controller this, bend this around a little bit, we're good to go. And we'd be good to go. Larry Skylines, it's a bike path, so faster for them. Yes, this is a bike path. And we have lots of eminent domain. So this is the biker's dream. We've used eminent domain for this high quality bike facility that nobody's using. So let's see, is this really not getting any use at all? That's gonna kill me. Oh no. Oh, that kills me. It's too far. Is it not connected somewhere? No. Okay, I'm gonna step away. It's great, Philip. I love to build on my own maps. Yes, I think it's gonna be really fun. Just Blaze, are you a fan of roundabouts in real life? Yes, roundabouts are good because they help us maintain traffic flow. So right here's a good example. You have people stopping, and unless it's an actuated stop with detection, it's stopping no matter what. So sometimes you can end up with queues on one particular road just because it's not timed correctly. And the other trick about traffic lights, I'm not a traffic engineer, but I've talked to them, and I've taken a couple of classes, so I know enough to be dangerous. So the trick with those is that sometimes the signal timing gets off over time. So if instead of the phase being 60 seconds, it's 60.5 seconds. Over the course of a year, now the signal's wrong. So you can end up with some significant issues. So I've seen that happen, and yeah, that's a thing. With a roundabout, you don't have those problems. They just work. But the real big benefit of roundabouts is the severity of the collisions that you see there. You don't have the same crash severity. What you have is a whole bunch of rear end collisions, fender benders, that sort of deal. And that's frustrating, but I would much rather see someone get in a fender bender than to have someone die in a crash. So from my perspective, that's why I like them so much. And we're gonna end this thing right here, and then I will slope this down, or not. Maybe I'll just add rocks here and call it a day. So let's see. Joy, thank you so much for the super chat. Bus only highways included in the update and one-way bus lanes. All right, I'm all for it. We're doing it. We're gonna have a BRT system. So I have a lot of ideas, but nothing's set in stone. We'll have to see. You'll have to see. We've got some. Maybe I'll incorporate some more community feedback for this, because this is something I'm very excited about. But I think it's good to get you guys involved as well. Let's see, Andrew, good to see you in here. I had to deal with a light being off. It got reported, and the city fixed it. Turns out it was part of it was broken. Interesting. Joy built cities and small roads with wide sidewalks and medians. I did see that, and that is huge. That is one of the things that has always bugged me about Cities Skylines, is that sidewalks and the way they are configured on a road is really important, and it's something that people fight about. So it's something that can really transform the feeling of an area. So I've worked on plans where we're just specifically talking about the way a street is configured and the cross section of a street and how exactly it feels in certain areas. And that's the sort of thing that makes a city feel really special. So to have that is awesome. You're setting your mind swept. You're going to try to get me saying some things I shouldn't say. Let's see. Chris asks if I'm afraid of hitting the node limit. I am not. So I wonder if I still have that in here. So I had a mod that told me my limits, and I don't know if I still have it in here. I don't think that I do. Anyway, I am like, oh, right here. So it's Control L. Let's see where we're at. Control L. I think we're good. So when we take a look here, the limit segment. Interesting. So apparently I'm over the segment limit. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? I don't know. But for nodes, what am I doing? Oh, no. I'm looking at it wrong. All right. So I'm 10,000. Well, actually, I am getting close to the node limit. So I have 27,729. 32 is the default limit. For the segments, I've got quite a bit there. For lanes, I'm fine. Buildings and zone blocks, fine there as well. Vehicles, not much I can do about that one. So yeah, nodes. That's the main thing, and I think maybe I should start worrying. The node limit would certainly end the series. I would try to limp it along, and I'd go through and I would get rid of all the water pipes, which would kill me. And then I would get rid of the power, any power lines, and try to get through that. But yeah, some of the limits aren't. Some of them are close. So maybe I need to be a little bit more worried about that. So there we go. Anyway, let me see what else is going here. My voice is so good. Hopefully that's the mic. Vanilla is kind of boring. I disagree. I actually think that, so maybe I will just say it. Yeah, I have been contemplating my next series. And in the next one, I'm thinking it will be a very lightly modded playthrough. So basically all of the things that have irritated me about Verde Beach would be remedied in that series. So I would have a list of mods, but not assets. And I would basically have the freedom of playing with TMPE and Move It and on all of those sorts of mods. I would try to maintain the vanilla-ness of my playstyle and try not to become the person that is just constantly using the network multi-tool to curve roads, as much as I'd love doing that. So that is what I think I would do for the next series. The big thing is I want to be able to use Find It and Rico. So I could create neighborhoods of certain styles and show some progression of history over time. So yeah, vanilla-ish, like Bernie says. That is what I'm looking for. So yeah, vanilla plus something that is in the middle. And the main thing I'd want to do is keep it so that it's light enough so that if you wanted to build along with me and you didn't have a super powerful computer, you could still play along with me. Because the number of people I see that the number of people I see that are building along with me is pretty outstanding, and I want to make sure that what I'm doing makes sense. And I see that in Clearwater County, that is not possible. Like, people are just not able to open up the saves. It's one of the reasons I know that I've received a lot of questions why I put the Clearwater County saves online like I do with Verde Beach. The main reason is I really need to help people one-on-one. So on Patreon, if someone asks me for specific support, or on YouTube channel members, I can give that. But it really kind of whittles down the number because it's really, really, otherwise it would be a lot. Because the save is monstrous. At this point, Clearwater County takes me in the upwards of 4 minutes to load. I think I know why. I think I can fix that, but I think that I have a really good machine, and if that's happening to me, it's going to be even worse for other people, and I don't want to put you through that. So in the next series, I would have something in the middle. I would release saves every 5 episodes like I do with Verde Beach. The main reason, and I know I've received questions about this as well, why don't I release the saves more often? It's actually easier for me to release it to channel members via my Google Drive than it is on Steam on the workshop. So it's very simple for me to, after I'm done recording an episode, go into my saves folder and just upload it quickly to Google Drive. So it's just it's a little bit easier for me. Let's see. At this point, Phil could paint a fence and we'd be captivated. Thank you, Sean. I don't think that is true. Although I did. It's funny. I live next to a planner that I work with. His son. I live right next to him. And at one point, he did watch me paint a fence because we live right next to each other, and he just was there watching me as I painted my fence slowly on a 90-degree day. Not the best time to paint your fence. I've always wished Verde Beach would be lightly modded to reduce the lumpies and bumpies. Yes, me too. At times, I do think it's challenged me to become a better vanilla player, and I really appreciate that. I think I'm better at the game because of Verde Beach. Not because of Clearwater County. Clearwater County gets you good with mods, and there are lots of great things about the mods. Like, I'm really, really loving everything that I can do plopping buildings. That has been absolutely spectacular for me. One of the unfortunate things, the video that I'm coming out with on Saturday is going to share some similarities to Biffa's, unfortunately. Grasses Road. Laura, what does that mean? Glasses Road. Grasses Road. The road looks bad. I've got to fix that, but I don't know what that means. So yeah, I'm gonna, yeah, the video that I put out is gonna be very similar because there was a comment on the last video that said I should be using the random function, and I have not been doing that. I didn't know it was a thing. It's one of those things where I think I need to get better about looking at all the functionality that the mods offer, because I saw that dice icon there and I had no idea what it was. And it took me actually playing with the mod to get it, and then seeing the different videos that are out about the mod has made me realize just how underutilized it has been in my mod repertoire. Jojo, thank you so much for the support. Phil, you're my favorite content creator. I love the fact that you really care about your cities and their citizens. You look at the details, you think of the background lore, you care about the meaning of the neighborhoods. Love your work. Greetings from Brazil. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. Yeah, and I for me, that's the only way to play the game. Like, you can just kind of throw big cities up. To me, I need to understand the why. So I appreciate that you like this play style. It's something that I wasn't sure if anyone else played this way or cared or would care. And it's been a lot of fun seeing that people do actually enjoy it, because it's definitely, I think it's an acquired taste. I understand that not everyone is gonna want to watch me play the game the way that I play it. Danny, Minneapolis Light Rail Transit has entered the chat. It's so terrible, man. It doesn't go anywhere. Rather than BRT, love your channel, even though you're in Wisconsin. I will. I've heard mixed things about the light rail in Minneapolis. I've also been very curious about the heaters at some of the bus stops in Minneapolis because I've heard mixed things about that. That's something that I know that in my area we've been talking about. So very, very disappointed that we have to have a rivalry, Danny, because I know that this weekend it's gonna really come to a head, and it's really gonna be unfortunate with the Vikings lose, but I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. I was gonna say, at this point, I think you're the best creator on this platform. I appreciate that. I just want to keep improving, so that's my goal. One of the reasons why. So I've talked about how much my setup has changed. I want to keep getting better at this. It's something I really enjoy. I've always enjoyed technology. I've always enjoyed, learning new things, and this gives me an outlet for that and to meet really interesting people. And I have a lot of fun with it. So I really appreciate you all giving me the opportunity to do this for and with you. It's a lot of fun for me. It's gonna add a fence here, because it's going to be way too difficult. We are having some fires today, so maybe I should check fire coverage in this area to see. It looks totally acceptable. I don't see the problem. It's just happening. Let's see. Garlic bread loves how everything is a meeting to the story. Love from Canada. We love Canada. Just across the border. We have heaters and a few for Boston. So I've heard that those heaters get broken all the time. So that's my concern with them. Is I've heard that the vandalism it's a problem, and so I have mixed emotions. We live in a cold weather climate where I am, and it is super, super nice to have warmth when it's let's say -10 Fahrenheit. So we're not going to have that a lot here, but there will be a handful of days in the year where you have that issue and you're waiting for your bus to get there, and it's late because it's struggling with the snow or the cold weather. So to have a heater and be able to push a button, that's a big thing. There are always consequences to everything. One of the things that gets talked about is it could be becoming someone's house. It could become a place where you end up with homeless people camping, which is I have mixed emotions about that. We provide shelters. We have actually a campsite, and I'm all for whatever it takes to. If I were homeless, I'd want to stay warm too. To me, if they're there, it's a failing on our part as a city in not providing amenities to get people where they need to be. So I'm kind of meandering all over the place, and I apologize for that. But basically, I'm concerned that there could be vandalism, and it could make the shelter's a place that maybe we wouldn't expect them to be. Streve, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, I love your videos. Keep at it. Thank you so much. Maybe some bushes instead of fences. I agree. Cameron, that's a good idea. I'm wondering exactly how many we can get in there, though. So let's see. Oh, let's see who this is. Oh, it's Philip with 2 L's. And he's biking up the bike path. So it kills me. There he is. There he is. All right, I'll take it. Even if it's Philip with 2 L's. Let's see. Batch says it's past someone's bedtime. Hello says we don't have very many 2 to 3 sided shelters for buses. Huh. Yes, Ethan, the stream is up. Ben visited Madison this last summer. It's a gorgeous city. Watching from Saskatchewan. Thank you so much. Madison's an absolutely beautiful city. I think it's very underrated, and I think it's because of the winters. But if you can tough it out through 2 or 3 months, Madison's a great place to live. It's still affordable in some areas. I will readily admit that it is becoming less and less affordable every year. I tell people what I paid for my house when I bought my first house in Madison, which wasn't all that long ago, and they have heart attacks, basically. So my first house was in the Eakin Park neighborhood, and that is just off East Washington. Very cool neighborhood, just off the Isthmus, and it was 130,000, 135, that ballpark. Very, very inexpensive. Very expensive now. The neighborhood has changed a lot, and part of that was the neighborhood association formed, and the one of the neat things that I was really excited about happening in that neighborhood is the neighborhood got together and made some nice gateway signage to welcome people to the neighborhood, and it really became an interesting place, and it gave it a sense of character, made it feel like its own special place. So I like the idea to add the bushes here. I want some sort of separation. So basically, if there's a car going 55 right here and they go off the road, I want them to hit something that's not a biker. So that's why I wanted a fence. The game obviously has its limitations. If this were modded, I could figure that out. Here I can't, without lots of finagling and getting tricky with it. So this will do the trick for me. I'll take it. Let's see. Ethan, is there any way you could drop a mod list for members? Do you mean for Clearwater County? Honestly, for Clearwater County, I think the best way to be able to play with that save is to probably just subscribe to the mods from a save, because there's just a lot in there. I've added things, and it's been difficult for me to keep up with. I have a lot of regrets about the ways that I actually handled the mod list, and I think that in the next modded series I will do a much better job, because I have ideas about how to manage that. So I think I should have separated everything up front, had vehicles, assets, mods, and then individual episodes, and I kind of did a weird mix of everything, and it didn't work well. So I apologize for that. Let's see. Amy D, thank you so much for the support. The chill vibes in your videos are perfect to put on when I'm knitting. I'm knitting now. Thanks so much for helping me get through some ambitious projects. That is awesome to hear. My wife is a knitter, and I know that she looks for things that she can do while she's knitting as well. My videos are not one of those things. So I had an interesting time with my wife. She'd actually never watched one of my videos, not once. Maybe, I think she might have watched the Florida video where I made a Venice Beach, but I think that's about the only one that she's watched up until our family vacation that we had a few weeks back. My brother-in-law wanted to show my father-in-law. Maybe he's in here. I don't know if he is. He wanted to show my father-in-law and my wife what I'm up to, and so we watched through Trattoria episode 1. I don't know that it gave me street cred with my father-in-law. I'll have to report back on that one. But it's cool that I'm able to share it with some people, because I've been pretty low key about really about telling people who I am, which sometimes can be kind of sad, because it's a big part of my life. I think that if you make as many videos as I do, it's a big part of what you do. And I think about it. I schedule things around it, and it's part of my routine. So it's nice to be able to share that with some people. Frank Paul, I'd like to name a new road after the first person who crosses it. Oh boy. So what road? We have to figure out how we're gonna do this, Frank. I'd love to name a new road after the first person who crosses it. All right. Well, why don't we look at this one? And we've got another Philip right here. Dexter Mason, which is kind of funny because this right here is Mason. Oh, it was Mason Street. We will extend that because this is supposed to be Mason Street. So we'll make this Dexter Street. Hopefully that does the trick. And I actually like that, because Sunset Street is no good. We have a Sunset already, and I think that would be way too confusing. That would never go down. So there we go. Is that bike bridge connected? It is. It's not great, but yeah, it is connected. And I think that if we take a look now, we'll see some activity. No. Even though we saw fill up with 2 L's, take it. It's not working. That is a bummer. I don't know where we're having our issues. Maybe it is right here. I wonder. Let's just get really, really prescriptive with it. So I will grab this. I'll grab angle. I'll run this up to here. And then I will just curve this over with my freeform tool. And maybe that'll do the trick. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Phillips Path. Chicken Lane. You know what? We're doing with that. I like that. I feel like it's got to be a short street, though. And we'll name it after the person that had chickens in there behind their house. I feel like this would be a neighborhood where people have chickens. Because, you know, the eco and green. There we go. Chicken Lane. Why don't we... You know what? We're going to name a bunch of stuff. So maybe this is foolish of me. We're going to... I'm going to grab names that you drop in the chat right now. So if you have a name that you want to see in this neighborhood, drop it in the chat right now. Just the name, nothing else. And I will grab some names. So ready, set, go. What GPU do I use? I have a 1030 Ti. Or sorry, a 3080 Ti. I don't know where my head's at. Yes, naming spree. So 3080 Ti, I got it at the list price, which I thought was really good at the time. And now I feel like I totally made a mistake. I should have waited. I'm grabbing some names. So we got Lilibet, which is, I think, for the queen. Let's see what else we have here. Sunflower, Kiwi. And then Harvey will make this one Kiwi Street. Let's see, Shine Street. And Beer Boulevard. I like that. We might. We're going with it. Let's see, Amanda. We're gonna make that Betty Street, or Wee Betty. Let's see. I see Penny Lane. That's gotta be a short street. Which is a name that I've seen for streets, and that kills me. Let's see. We'll make it. We'll just do this. Let's see. Pog Street. Antetokounmpo Way. Oh, you're gonna test me. So I've got to be able to spell that. Okay, I'm gonna try to. Giannis Antetokounmpo. We'll go with that. We'll name it after the very best basketball player in the NBA. I don't want to debate it because there is no debate. There we go. And let's see what else we have. We have NIMBY Road. Absolutely not. Fox Lane. I like that. We have a lot of lanes, though, and I don't have that many short streets in here. I need to get better about that. I fall into connectivity mode as my default, and that is not necessarily the right way to go. Road Drive. Sesame Street, Rubicon Road. Charles Street. We will make that Ruby Road. So I'm just going to keep looking over, and as I see names, as I'm renaming. Muhammad Ali Road. I like that. So that would be considered a... Oh, that's a faux pas. So This is something that we've talked about in the city that I work for, naming things after people generally. You might want to just name this Ali Road or Muhammad Road. And the reason for that is you just never know what that person did. So we've there've been interesting conversations around that. Sapphire Road, Bacon Way. Sesame Street. We got a Sesame Street. I added one in right here. Here we go. Sesame Street. Thank you so much for the super chat, Ethan. Pasta place, Burton Street. Let's get Burton Street in here. Burton Street. And let's see. Mount Castle Avenue. I like that. I almost feel like it should be over here. Yeah, that should be over here, Mount Castle Way. Or the King's Road. Yeah. And I'm lost now. Let me got myself turned around for a second. All right, what else do we have? Planter Street. I like that. I think that the planner would be fired for allowing that, though. Because would that be a bribe? Ryan Road. We can do that. We can do that. And let's see. Phil Street. Phil with 2 L's. You know what? We'll make it Phil Circle. And yeah. Yeah, there we go. Phil Circle. Everyone's going to hate that. Burnham Street. I like it. Let's go for it. And let's get rid of Walker Street, and we will name this Cedarwood Road. And this is doing a lot of things here, but I think it's okay. Dale Street. Let's get a name for Dale Street. Legacy Lane. I like that. Chicago Avenue. We can do that one. All right, and I'm going to take a quick break and have a quick sip of my crew drive. I realized I've been streaming now for an hour and a half almost, a little under, hour and 20 minutes, and I've had exactly 0 sips of my beer. I opened it up, I looked at it, and now it's still full and getting warm. Lumpy and Bumpy Boulevard, we're going to do that. So, the dynamic mic, is it okay? Because I've used the condenser forever. And so the difference is basically I've had a lot of room echo forever. I think that if you listen to the very first Verde Beach. So as I was going through and watching all these old episodes, I am hearing the echo and becoming very self-conscious about it. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to upgrade the setup and get this to sound a little bit better. And we've got a beer street. So I'm just curious if you guys can tell the difference. I'm going to actually ask a poll. Does the new mic sound good? All right. Reverse Road. Pilsner Street. Lots of beer names. We can do that though. So here's a question. Alexander Road. So this is one that... So basically Alexander and Smithson are very important. This one is going to be an easy one. We're going to make this Lopez Avenue. I mean, that to me makes total sense. But right here, this Alexander Avenue is an old street and we don't have a name for it. So I want something really, really special. Chris Carlberg, thoughts on urban planning, science versus policy versus design grad school focuses. I think whatever complements your undergrad experience. So for me, I had classes on zoning and policy, and I wanted nothing to do with that. I wanted to learn GIS. I wanted to learn the Creative Suite. I wanted to learn how to make a planning document itself because I already knew the policies. So, uh, really, whatever's going to complement what you want to know. The other thing about my program is I went to a school that would allow me to take courses in the engineering building. I just wanted to be able to talk engineer to engineers because I think it's easy for an engineer to just dismiss a planner as just a silly planner. They give me these pie in the sky ideas, and then I have to be the bad guy and crush everyone's dreams. That, as an engineer, is what they're thinking. So to have a little bit of that realistic point of view, I thought was very beneficial. So I went to a school that would allow me to take some civil engineering coursework in place of some of my planning work. So that I took, what was it, 9 credits maybe of civil engineering. And I learned about things that I think are wrong, like level of service. I learned how to do that. I did traffic counts and different things like that. So very valuable experience, even if I haven't used a lot of those skills. It did teach me how to use the trip generation rates and things of that nature as well. So for what I wanted to do, I really wanted to have some involvement in transportation planning. I thought it was very valuable for me. So let's see. Palm Boulevard. I like that one. So Sylvia Way. I'll give that one. We'll go with Sylvia right here. But for Alexander Avenue, Gotham Street, I'm gonna give Batch one. Let's see. EB Forever says, wanted to say thank you for your videos. I was playing City Skylines and I got the news of my grandmother passing back in 2020. Couldn't bring myself to play again until I discovered your channel. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your grandma, but I'm glad that I can help in any way. There's so many stories that I see like that, and I'm just kind of shocked that I've been able to help so many people in that way. It means a lot to me. That's one of the things about being a creator that I think that you don't really realize is how many people you can touch in those sorts of ways, and it's pretty it's wild, and I appreciate it. So I'm happy that I can help you in a small way. Thank you so much, Scott, for becoming an associate planner. And I see that Taylor with another super chat. Thank you so much. Could you name 3 intersecting streets after the 3 goddesses of the Trojan War? Hera, Aphrodite, and Athena. Maybe one after the Lady of War, Helen. I don't know if I have many 3-ways. Where is... So let's see. There's got to be a 3-way somewhere that I haven't named all the roads. So actually, this... No, not there. Not there. Maybe up, but we got Ruby and Audrey. So those are all streets that I named. So the other problem, I'll name a couple of streets after that, but I don't know that they're going to intersect that way. Not without it being a new street. So why don't we go and we will name Hera Street here and then Green Street. You know what? I like the idea of this having kind of a name that sticks out to people. So we'll name this one Aphrodite. And then let's see, what is the next one? It was Athena. Let's see if we have any streets that are not named. Richard Street. Here we go. We will come here and we will have Athena Street. There we go. So thank you so much for the support. It's Taylor. I appreciate it. Ben, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Phil, for your sound issues, look into a piece of software called Voice Meter Banana. It's a funny name, but a lot of YouTubers use it. It lets you adjust all the sounds in your computer individually. I will look into that because that's... So one of the reasons I was so excited to be able to get the Wave XLR is that it allows me to use Wavelink, which would allow me to do that exact same thing. Problem is, when I was using Wavelink, I was getting lots of pops from my microphone. So I would be completely silent. It would just, you hear this clicking and popping. And I figured you guys would get very irritated with that, because I did. So, does it say Gothan? Oh, no. Oh, it does. It does. Good catch. Gotham. And I missed a super chat from Alexander the Average. Personally offended you're getting rid of Alexander Avenue. You know what? We're going to cement it. So I want this to show up on the CSL map, so I will make it something different. There we go. There we go. We'll give it priority. Alexander Avenue. We'll keep it. It works. We'll save it for you, Alexander the Average. You're Alexander the Great in my book. So there we go. P. Parker Parkway. Blue Jay Way. I like that too. I like that too. We can certainly add something for Blue Jays. I you know, going through, this is something that I got away from in the build that I really wish I would have kept up with, because it, oh, Bluffside Crossing Way. Oh, I love that. So we have Christina McCullough Way. Let's see. Sheldon Cooper or Amy Farrah Fowler. I watched The Big Bang Theory tonight. Palm Springs Boulevard. I missed your super chat, Wallace Odom. Wallace, please drop it down right now and let me know what you said, and I will try to read it off again. I apologize for that. Glad there's a street named after my hometown, Alexander. Andrew, I'm happy to. Firebreak Boulevard, I like that too. Hawkins Way. Oh yeah, I like that. Actually, we've got to put that closer to Lee's area. And let's see. So I missed a super chat. If anyone knows what that super chat was that I missed, please let me know. Because I feel bad. I feel bad. Clearwater Way. I think we're going to do that. I like that a lot. Smoking Pines. Dolly Parton Parkway. Yeah. So this is interesting. So we have this ending here. We're going to send that right across the bridge. Hawkins Highway. I think we've got to do that. The Lee Hawkins Memorial Interchange. So he actually, I think he would like to do an interchange. So when I spoke with him about this, he wanted to do something here. Now, granted, that's the Bob Ross Memorial, but I think that he wanted to have some sort of interchange with Bob Ross and this highway right here. I'm not actually sold on this highway existing for very much longer. So there's been a divide between Myrtle Park and Banana Heights and the Garden City, and I just think that it'd be nice to bridge that at some point. Let's see. If you've already got a mixer set up, don't worry about voice meter. So I don't have a. So I'm doing all my mixing right now in inside of OBS. Maybe I should have gone with a instead of going with this Wave XLR with something that was a mixer, but I didn't. So let's see. 200 years. No one knows Bob Ross. That's true. No one knows who Bob Ross is anymore. That happens. That happens. Ooh, Stan's in here. I see Comrade too. So there is the super chat that I missed. I feel really bad. I'm not able to see what it was. Jamie Bruce, thank you so much for the super chat. Literally playing the game Hades while listening, and I love the roads based on Greek mythology. Would love to have a name, some named after my favorite myth about the god Eros and his wife Psyche. I think we could do that. Let's see, because we've got most of the streets over here named. So actually, we've got a problem here. So we've got Athena looping back around and meeting up with Harris Street twice. Oh, that's because Ryan Road is doing some things. So what we're going to do is pull this one back. And the main reason for that is you can't have streets intersecting at the same street twice, because if there was a public safety concern, you would basically have a difficult time figuring out where the public safety concern happened. So what I'm going to do is, oh boy, how do I, okay, there it is. So I can grab this and pick part of the street. And then I'm going to take this right here and we will have arrows. And let's see if there's another one that we can add over here. There's got to be one more. Oh, Phillips Street. He can't have two. Absolutely not. Not with two L's. There we go. There. Legacy Lane. I spelled that wrong. So there we go. Steve Harvey Avenue. You know, we think Steve Harvey's a good guy, but we don't really know. From Wallace Odom. It's all right. So many super chats. I'd ask for a road to be called Hebron Dunbar Road. I can do that. We can definitely do that. Sorry so much, Wallace. I appreciate your patience with me. I still get lost from time to time as I'm going through and doing this. I'm not the greatest streamer. I'm trying to get better. Hebron Dunbar Road. We'll see how that works. There we go. All right. Thank you so much, Banana Man. That is super helpful. Super helpful. Ramsar Hills. Derbyshire Lane. Let's see if we have any more. I don't think we named strawberries, so I can do that. Norman Bates. There we go, Derbyshire. So let's add some trees. That's one of the things, so you can see where I've gone through and just livened it up a little bit with some trees. It just looks so much better. So I want to go through, and I love the new live oak. I just like to drop it everywhere. I think I'm just going to find areas like this where it's a little bit sketchy looking, and we'll just kind of go through and add these. And I will take a look at the chat while I'm doing this. So Jeannie's Lamp, thank you so much for the support. How often do you work personally with emergency management personnel? This is a field that I'm working towards. Got my master's degree in it every single week. So that has been a constant. Most of the time, it's the police department. In a previous job I had, I worked with EMS quite a lot and the fire department. They obviously, especially when you're doing site plan review, they're very, very, very interested in fire lanes and knowing exactly how a site plan is going to lay out, and if they can fit a fire truck in there. They'll actually make you run a bunch of analysis on there to make sure that I did not end the poll. Everything sounds good on the mic. Andrew, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. So yeah, basically you work with emergency responders a lot. There's a section of Route 202 in Massachusetts that has the same road crossed multiple times. Yeah, that is unacceptable. So that is not something that we would ever allow right now. It certainly happens in the past, but yeah, not into it. Let's see. Joe Zhao asks if I've ever thought about cutting the streams into videos. So that is why. So this is going to be the first stream that I attempt to break up into a video. So I have this recording right now on my PC as I'm streaming it on my Mac. So I'm really, fingers crossed, that I can get this thing edited down and make it something interesting. That said, the challenge with the stream is I'm not really getting anything done. I'm just kind of having fun and chatting with you guys. So I don't know how thrilling it's going to be to watch after the fact. It's one of those things where I think the changes that I make on stream matter. but I don't know that anyone's going to want to watch it. So I'm going to put one of them out there as a stream replay, and we'll see how people take it. And I'm going to take the VOD of this, and I'm going to unlist it and leave it as a link inside of that stream replay. And I'm going to do very minimal edits. I'm going to just basically time-lapse some things. And the thing is, there's not a lot to time-lapse because I'm talking a lot. And when I'm time-lapsing in my videos, I'm very deliberate with it, and I purposely make myself not talk, which is not something I'm doing here. But I can clean up the audio, and I can make it a little bit better, cut out some of the waiting and things like that. So, and I think if I just get lost, I can cut some of that out too. Smooth out the terrain. You know, I could try. It's just probably not going to work well here. It almost in some of these places just makes more sense to take a large tree and hide it because it's not gonna look good unless you spend a whole bunch of time terracing, which in my mind, I don't know that that's any more realistic. In most of these places, you just see lots of trees. Aloe says, I watch VOD of it. So the advantage of the VOD is that you get to see the super chat, or not the super chat, you get to see the chat replay. And for me, that is why I would personally prefer the VOD. But I know that I'm not everybody. Everyone consumes it differently. And when I asked the question on the community tab, more people were interested in a condensed version of the video than the VODs, which surprised me bluntly. I thought it was going to be the opposite way around. What's next for Verde Beach? Carlo, thank you so much for being here. Have a good one. Let's see. What's next for Verde Beach? I don't know if I should tell. Maybe I'll just visual hint. I think that the video really drove home. Episode 100 really drove home how neglected this area is and how valuable this could be. I don't know that this is going to remain a nature reserve. 70 episodes, 150 years or whatever it has been, it's remained this, whatever this is. And I've had it on pause for a while, which is unlike me. So yeah, not great. So that's probably what we're going to work on. Vaymon, have a good time with the movie with your wife. So let me see. I've got a question. So I've been thinking about whether this whole area should become a nature reserve or if we should just accept burning palms and do something here, make a special park, but build a neighborhood around it. And I'm curious what you guys think about that. So I'm going to drop that in a poll. So let me know. Should part of the Oak Nature Reserve get developed? So here we go. Should we develop part of this into a neighborhood? Eric Paulson's here. Hey, Eric. Good to see you. Maybe turn the hillside into a new nature reserve. Well, so that's the other thing. We've got this big one over here that I got to finish too. So at a certain point, we've got a lot of parkland. And I want that. Absolutely. I think that's really important. But this land is so valuable. Downtown is hemmed in. The price of the land in this area would be going through the roof. We honestly probably should be visiting places like Somerset and redeveloping some of this into more dense uses. And then where there are big lots like this, adding in some cul-de-sacs so we could develop both sides, get a little bit more density in there because this is super valuable land. July says, don't develop. Don't listen to the masses. So, July, you make a good point. So I remember initially when I planned out the Sterling Family Zoo, I really took a look at the natural resources. And if you'll recall, initially I went through and I meticulously drew a road around all the trees. And then after I did that, I realized it probably wasn't going to be a great idea to develop that based on how defined that area was. And I decided to smooth it out a bit. That was very controversial. I ended up seeing a whole bunch of people in the chat saying, or in the comments saying, please don't do that. Don't do that. You've done this. This is something that we're into. So we've kind of found it in the middle. I found a middle ground there. Comrade says July is a NIMBY. Save the trees. Save the trees. We gotta go to Wisconsin and protest the development of it. So I would say that this part of the city is actually already gentrifying. And this is this tells you everything you need to know. So the reason why we would develop some of this is because we already have a lot of transit service in this area. We could extend that benefit to more people. That said, you could extend the exact same benefit by increasing the density in Somerset and having some monuments and making this a really spectacular park. Obviously, there's a significant portion of this that'll never get developed. Everything around the Goodall Institute Annex and really all the path network through here will not be developed. I do want to get rid of all these palm trees, and it's crazy to have this called the Oak Nature Reserve and have no oaks in there. So now that we have the oaks, we will definitely add those. So the yeses were overwhelmingly winning, but it's changing. I actually see the no's coming back in. So we've got 289 votes. That means there's a third of you that have voted and a third of you that haven't. Pure greed, Philip. Well, that's Philip with 2 L's. So I agree. That Philip is greedy. Was it a national park? No. I don't think that we've ever established that. Let's see. Patrick's a YIMBY. Yes, in my backyard. Palm Nature Reserve. Yeah, right now as it currently sits. Hi, Philip. Greetings from Australia. Hello. Yes, use Bob to replace those trees. I would if we had mods, but if I replace those, it'll replace everything on the map. We don't want to do that. That'd be bad. Replace it with an 8-lane highway with a Costco. Yes, giving people freedom with a Costco. Do I ever get creative blocks? Yes, I do all the time. And that is one of the reasons I like having multiple builds going at the same time, because they get me out of it. That said, I've been called out for it. Sometimes I will get a creative block. Let's see. Eeftis, thank you so much for the support. It would make a good location for a pedestrian-only neighborhood. Ooh. Now that is interesting. That is really interesting. Model Newbie, thank you so much for the support. How your videos are great, really relaxing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Wow, the idea of this being a pedestrian-oriented neighborhood. Oh, wow, I like that a lot. I'm going to think about that. I like that idea. Banana says, I thought Walmarts were for freedom. Sean Miller asks if I play any instruments. I play guitar poorly. So I have a guitar next to me. I'm not an overcharged egg. I've listened to some of there was something, I can't remember where it was, but Overcharged Egg had a video of him playing guitar. Definitely very good. I am not. And I want to say that the Real Civil Engineer plays guitar as well. Am I going to... Oh, I missed July's super chat. Hey, can you drop it again? I'm sorry. I did not mean to miss that. I'm making a large sewage pond. Yeah, I think I'm going to take this under advisement. So, July, could you tell me the super chat again? I do not see it. I can look back. Oh, I see it now. Save the forest. We're losing the Amazon in real life. True. If you make it a completely green city. Yeah, I could do that. Build a city called Africa. Huh. Do I prefer YouTube channel memberships or Patreon? That is interesting. So I'm actually a Patreon ambassador. I like that Patreon, in terms of the support level, they definitely give you more support. They give you a better cut than YouTube. That said, I do appreciate that YouTube has the potential to have a better setup than Patreon. because Patreon's another place I need to go. And it's another place I need to ask you all to go. YouTube's where everyone already is. So if YouTube would do what I really want them to do, which is let me take a video, record it a few days early, upload it to YouTube, and say that for the first 3 days, it's available to channel members only, I would probably only have YouTube channel membership. It bugs me that I can't do that. And I do that on Patreon. That said, it's one more place I have to upload. I have kind of slow upload speeds, 35 up, which is fine. YouTube's got, I want to say it's, you know what? I'm not 100% sure. Let me look. I want to say it was like 70-30. YouTube channel membership rates. I'd have to look, but I want to say it was 70-30. That said, it's all extra, and I appreciate it. For me, it's what I use to reinvest back in the channel, and it's what I pay the editor with. My biggest problem is that it's just, I feel like that I don't have parity in what I'm offering people, and I feel bad about that. So I know that some channels, there's some creators will just say, support me on Patreon. I don't really do anything there, but there's the support, and I appreciate that. I've thought about that, but I feel like I need to provide you value if you are going to support me especially on a separate platform. But it makes me feel uncomfortable to not offer parity. I like the stickers, so I like that too. Let's see. Miriam asks what I would think of as my main city. That's tough. I don't know. I think a lot of people, you know what? We're going to do it. No, for Taylor, for YouTube, it's 70% me, 30% YouTube. But Patreon's even better. But they make me pay a monthly fee. So I actually pay for Vimeo Plus a monthly fee to store the videos there. And I pay for Patreon to be able to use the service. So, not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream. Hopefully this resolves. It looks like I am unstable. All right, I'm going to see if I can fix something on my end. Ooh. I think this was my fault. So I apologize. I think... shoot. So I think that I inadvertently hit record and that caused a whole bunch of issues. So I'm hoping that we can come back from that. Really hoping. We'll see. So, can you guys see me? I see 100 people just dropped off, so I'm going to say probably not. Things improving. Bummer. Well. Oh, that appears to have worked. It's better now. Okay. So I don't know what I hit. So I have so the other change on the Mac, I downloaded OBS version 28. And I don't know if that was a good call or not. So one of the things that is problematic is that for whatever reason, certain buttons aren't working right. So one of those is the record button. So I have it mapped to 19. And Planner Duck says YouTube is limiting me because they heard what I said. Maybe they are. I'm gonna have to talk to my partner manager and see what's going on. So it's funny. You guys are saying that it's good now, but for me, I can't tell. It looks like it's still having problems. So I cannot tell. Either way, I want to ask one final question, and then maybe we'll call it a night. And that is, what is your favorite series? Verde Beach, Clearwater County. So this was something that someone asked me to put up earlier in the stream. So hopefully this is good now. So do you guys see the poll? Oh, so it's 59% Verde Beach, 41% Clearwater County. So I guess if I were to answer this question, which audio is fine, but the video is glitching. That is a bummer. I'm sorry. We're going to end it soon, but I do want to see where this lands. So for me, I think that Verde Beach would be my, I would look at that as my primary series right now. That could change over time. There are things I love about Clearwater County, but I'm just not the most talented modded player. And I'm trying to still find that balance for me where basically where I'm not overdoing it on mods and getting lost. And I have that issue from time to time. So Mitchell, thank you so much. I'm glad that you liked the 100th episode. Thank you so much. Audio is fine. Frozen video, only audio. 1 FPS. All right. I'm going to end it, but I want to thank you all for being here with me. Verde Beach won. I'm surprised that 779 people have decided to stick with me through this. Definitely very, very sorry. Anyway, thank you so much for all of your support. I will hop in the Discord for a few minutes. And again, thank you so much for being here. And I apologize that we're having problems with the stream. Hopefully in the next one that won't be an issue. So I will release this as a VOD. I will unlist it. It's in the playlist. It'll be there right away. So if someone wants to check that out, that's where it is. But I'm going to also try to edit this down into a video. There's no problems with the video, so we should be good there. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Oh, Cryophile says we're good now. And it's funny. Yeah, I see on my end it looks fine. I just see on the YouTube side it's broken. So anyway, I am very sorry. I will catch you in the next one. Take care and bye-bye. Oh.